Good day, everybody. Here we are back for another shot at a 1956 D roll. We opened one yesterday and it turned out to kind of be, well, not so good. Plus, it wasn't original and it was mixed and it was just a pain. So I poured those out in a bag, but I kept the 3 coins that we had already found that were die varieties out. It was one for Frank, one for Sissy, and one for P. Adams. And I kept those out. They're going to go as free coins with the reveal that we're doing here. And hopefully this one turns out to be much better. It's a 1956D, original BU roll, or appears to be an original BU roll. So I'm going to open it up here and tip it out and get started going through these, hoping that we're going to find some of the real goodies. Because the real goodies are the ones that we really want to find, right? Let's see, I'm trying to find my, here it is. I was looking for my mat pad. I have a pad, a little piece of mat board that I cut probably 15 years ago, and I've been using this to look at coins. I slide it around underneath my scope so I can set a coin on it and use it. I like that a lot better than setting on the glass or the plastic of the scope. Just makes things a lot nicer. Okay, let me get my camera set up here. Got to get everything set up so it works right. I was actually photographing coins, and it uses a similar but different setup. Oh, look at that. We got a nice RPM right off the bat. Let's see. Let me change my live view to a lower resolution. There we go. That's the best I can do, and be able to get it so that we can all watch without skipping around too much. This first one goes to Frank. So Frank is getting a replacement of the coin that he got from the other reveal. So not to confuse anyone, I'm starting all over again. I've deleted that show. It doesn't exist now. And yes, it is the makeup roll from yesterday. Basically, this is reveal number 357, 1956 D plastic tube roll, all over again. I've deleted that show and we are going fresh. So, first coin in the roll turns out to be a nice low RPM. I will zoom in on it and let you see it quite a bit better. There it is. We've got a nice split upper and lower serif. Oh, there's 2 splits in the lower serif. It looks like a tripled lower. So it could be a D over D over D. It also looks like there could be a line going through the middle of the mint mark. Could actually even have 4 D's on this one. Could. I'll have to take a better look at it later, but it's definitely a nice RPM. It has also what I call inside doubling of the vertical. Inside doubling of the vertical is where you can see a separation line right here on the inside of the vertical bar. It's right there. There's a little separation line right there. That shows you that this D right here, which makes up this serif, hides right about here, hides underneath the vertical for this serif down here. So that's what makes it tilted. It's definitely a tilted RPM. Let's go back to playing with coins. I do sound better today. Thank you, Farm Dog. This is the first time I've spoken all day. I kept my vocal cords fresh the remainder of the day. It's 1:30 in the afternoon here, and I haven't spoken yet today. I've been watching TV, haven't said anything to the dog. Everything I've done for the dog has been hand signals. I decided to completely save my voice up until this very moment. That's how much I love you guys. I'll look at the reverse on the first number of coins and then first 10 or so, and then we'll quit looking at the reverses because 1956 is definitely not known. 1956D, anyway, is not known for double die reverses. So there's coin number 2. Coin number 2 out of the way now for Malcolm. Coin number 3 for Deanne. Coin number 3 for Deanne is, well, appears to be nothing in the mint mark area. So we'll look and see if she gets a double eyelid. No double eyelid. Let's keep looking around here. Okay, there's a marker for you. You've got die bumps. These little things right here are kind of like die gouges on the T of trust. So we'll know that die when we pass by it again. But we've got a really strong die scratch going from the 1 southeast through the tail of the 5. So we'll know this die when we come back to it. When we see it again. Take a look at the other side real quick. We have nothing here. Nothing here to be excited about, unfortunately. Hello, Eric. Move on to Farm Dog. Farm Dog now. And same die. You can see the die scratch from the 1 through the tail of the 5. So it's the same die as the previous coin. I'll prove it right there. So we're going to have no variety on this coin. It's a nice coin, though. I mean, these coins are clearly in better condition than that last roll. Sometimes I pick winners, and sometimes I pick losers. And when I pick losers, it makes me feel guilty that I've charged money for the roll. So I like to replace them. It's just the way I like doing business. Here goes Eric. And Eric gets a different die, but it doesn't appear really to be any. No, it is a little bit different. It's a little bit different in that we do have a baby split in the lower serif. We have a very small split in the lower serif. Eric, I'll let you make the determination on this one, because this is kind of close to call. It's really minor, though. I'll go ahead and I'll pull it. Oh, wait, there we go. Doubled eyelid. That makes it worth pulling. Double die on the eye. Double die on the eye. Hello, Melanie. Melanie Beyer is Eric's other and much better looking half. So this one's for Eric. And we're going to use those die scratches. So it's northwest to southeast die scratches throughout the chin, date, face area, along with that doubled eyelid. Let's check the reverse on this one real quick. We know we don't generally get anything on the reverses of 1956D, Lincoln cents, and we didn't get anything this time either. Alright, so there's a different die. Now for Yo Man. Yo Man. A very minor split lower, but this is going to have the same. Nope, doesn't have the doubled eyelid, so it is a different die. Okay, this one's got a period, a big dot right after the D, right there, and a heavy die scratch from the 1 down. So we could use that to determine that we have seen this die before. And it does have a minor lower split serif, but I just don't know that I want to call it. It just doesn't look like it's going to really be enough to list. This one's for Yo Man. Well, I appreciate your acknowledgement of that, Stonecutter. You are correct that I don't have to do anything that I haven't guaranteed. And of course I don't guarantee. Oh, look at that. We have a another example of the I don't know if this is the same die or not. But I don't guarantee the condition of anything I open. It's just that I don't like to open stuff and then have it be ick and not do something about it. I think this is likely, yeah, this is the same die as Eric's coin, I believe. Let's go back and check it real quick. Look at that die scratch going north out of the 9. Let me pull Eric's coin. See if we have that same die scratch going north out of the 9. And we don't. So this is a different die. The upper serif is split differently too. So, yeah, this is definitely a different die. So Sissy gets the ender. It was the toned ender on the original roll before it was poured into a tube, and we get actually a split upper and lower serif RPM. Better RPM than the smaller one that Eric had, plus we get a double die lid. So it's an RPM plus a double die lid. Alright. Let's take a look at the reverse real quick. See what we end up with there. A little tiny bit of spotting here. That is an active carbon spot on the back there. But that's a different die. That one's got the die scratch north out of the 9. Here's one for Penny Hoarder. Penny Hoarder now gets, looks normal in and around the mint mark area. We do have pretty heavy mark on the die right next to the 9. So that's a pretty heavy little gouge right there. That we know we have that, and that's going to mark that die for us. And we'll know that we've seen a coin from this die before. So when we see it again, we will know that it has no doubling. So that one's for Penny Hoarder. P. Adams. This is where we stopped last time. Okay, I think this one we've seen. We've seen this die. It's got that heavy die scratch from the 1 down. And it has the big dot after the D. And it also has that little line coming up out of the vest. So we've seen this one before. No big errors on the reverse, so I'll just keep moving. Frank gets a nice RPM. That is a nice RPM. See, I like rolls like this. That's a nice RPM for Frank. It's not an eyelid. I believe this will match the die that we got in the beginning for guess who? Frank? That's right. It's a Frank coin, but I think it's a second example of the same die that we already got for Frank. We can find that out by finding a good marker. Look at the concentric die scratches all over the face. I mean, all over here, there are die scratches that are curved, that are actually centric around one point, which is the center of the design. That was done on the reduction lathe. And this is Frank's original coin. Remember that? This is Frank's original coin, and it does not have the same marks. So it is not the same die. Not the same marks, not the same die. So there we go. Frank now has a different die, and we're going to have to find a marker on this so that we will know that we're passing by Frank's second die. There's a dent in the die just below the 6. That's a dent in the die because it stands out on the coin. And now there's other markers around like those concentric die scratches, but I like using something near the date. Just makes it a lot easier. The double split serif upper and lower. We have some southeast die scratches in and around the face. Let me go ahead and silence my phone here. I forgot to do that. There we go. Had to silence the phone. I forgot about that. Okay, so this is going to be a different die. This is Frank's second RPM. Well, we're going to have a whole pile of different dies here. That's what we're going to end up with. Hey, Malcolm. Well, what do you know? As soon as Malcolm shows up, I flip over his name. Let's see if his astute timing has changed anything for him. I believe this is one of the normal coins. So we get a normal coin from Malcolm. And that's coin number 11. Now coin number 12. Kelly Michaud. Kelly Michaud gets... it's a minor lower split serif and a doubled eyelid. So this one's going to match, I believe it's Eric's coin. Another nice one with the doubled eyelid. Nice strong doubled eyelid too. Here we go. Not going to try keeping these separate anymore. I'm just going to pile them. There's so many different dies here. Paul Hampton. Paul Hampton gets... it looks like this might be another doubled eyelid. And it's not. This is one of the normal ones. I'm still having a little bit of trouble with very similar markers between different dies. Oh, this is the one. Okay, this is the one that's got the straight up line next to the one coming off the vest. That's what that one is. So that's going to turn out to be a normal one. Here's coin number 14. Ted Evans. And Ted Evans gets, that's one I haven't seen yet. Minor lower split serif. And we have a number of swirly die scratches. One of them comes straight up out of the one there, but a few of them under the chin. And so that's a new one. Let's see, number 15. Number 15 for Sureg. That appears it's going to be, one of the doubled eyelids. Hey, look, there's a little die crack on the nose. That'll help us. I think it's a die crack. No, that's a hit on the nose. Gaining my voice back slowly but surely. I don't want to over-exercise it, but I am going to try to do a few reveals today. Many of them that were supposed to have been done yesterday. So I think we're going to try to do 4 or 5 shows today. We've got one scheduled every... There's another one. Another RPM. This is going to be full of RPMs. Oh, no. Oh, no. The spots of death. Well, this one's for Carl. Got a nice RPM, though. But he got a big black spot. Ick. Coin number 17. Sissy. Sissy gets a nice RPM. Nice, nice. RPM with a doubled eyelid. This roll is stuffed. I'm liking it. 18, crispy. This roll is stuffed. Yeah, nothing on this one. Not stuffed with valuable stuff, but it's stuffed with good stuff. Better than a swift kick in the face. Here's Paul Hampton. Paul Hampton next. And
Paul Hampton gets. It might be a double die lid. What do we say? No, it's not. It's one of the normal ones. It's the one die that confuses me into thinking it's a double die lid die. I haven't found anything yet on it that'll for sure tell me this is not the die you're looking for. Move along. Hello, Terry. Well, Terry, you got to show up at the auctions on Tuesday evening. In the auctions on Tuesday evening, all registered bidders, like you, have the opportunity, here's another one of our DDU RPM combos, have the opportunity to get in on these roll reveals. And what you do is show up, wait to the end of the auction, which is usually around 9:30, and because the auction starts at 7, and I start calling off these rolls, telling you what they are, and saying that we have a maximum of 3 coins per person, which is my norm, and that we're charging X amount per coin. This particular roll, I think, was $2 a coin. That is an RPM. It's also a double eyelid. So our charge on this roll was $2 per coin. So every one of these people getting RPMs and double dice paid $2 a piece for them to come straight out of a fresh roll. And it's a shotgun start. So given that it's a shotgun start, there's another RPM with a double eyelid. We're hitting a whole pile of these things. When I call it out, I'll say it just like this. I'll say, okay, next we're going to have reveal number 357. It's a 1956D plastic tube roll. And there's another one. 1956D plastic tube roll. We're going to have a max of 3 per person. We're going to have $2 per coin. And we are going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I hit go now. And as soon as I hit that, you need to be ready to pull the trigger on how many you want. You can bin 1, bin 2, or bin 3, or you can just say bin max for 3 because maximum is 3. That's another one for Sissy. And if you get within the first 50 spots, which some people try as hard as they might, their internet is too slow for them to get in. Here's one with the scratch going straight up out of the 9. So we've seen this die before. I think we keep hitting the same 2 or 3 dies over and over and over again. But then, if you get in, then your name goes on these cards. These cards get stuffed randomly inside the numbered flip inserts. And when the roll comes out, you get the next coin in the roll if your name is the next one flipped over. And it's pretty simple how it works. It was an idea I came up with about probably about 3 or 4 years ago now. And I had never planned that these shows would be shows where people would watch me live while I do this. My main purpose in doing these shows was so that I would have video evidence and proof that, for instance, Thomas gets the coin that has an RPM, it has a little fuzzy next to the 6, and it has a little fuzzy above the L. Now, if he gets this coin, he'll see that this coin is in exactly the same condition that I found it in. And whatever RPM is on the coin, I'm going to identify for him. Eric does that for me. I send a batch of coins to Eric. He goes through and identifies and photographs anything necessary for the website. And that's another feature of this show. If I happen to find a die variety on your coin, double die, repunchment, mark, OMM, whatever, and it happens to be something that we need to photograph for coppercoins.com, you will get credit for the find, and your coin will be the one featured on coppercoins.com, and you will get a flip insert something like this, where it says Copper Coins Plate Coin. It has the die number, and then I sign every one of them originally in pen before I send it back to you. Now, if you find a die variety, or if we do find a die variety for your name, like this coin right here,
and it happens to not be the best one out of the roll, which this one is probably not, P. Adams will get this coin
marked as the die it actually is, but it won't say plate coin and it won't have my signature. It'll just be
another die variety he can add to his Lincoln Cent collection. And that's how this works. It does go fast. I tell you what, sometimes
the sales on the entire roll of coins can go inside of 5 seconds.
And it really is just bam, that fast. Sometimes if I do a roll that's really popular and everybody really wants to get involved, all I have to do is say go, and within 5 seconds I've got 50 coins spoken for. It's actually kind of nuts. I never thought it would get that level of popularity, but it certainly has. Now, we've seen this die before, and when we saw it, it looked a little newer than this. It looks like this is a progression, later die state progression from something we've seen earlier in the roll. We have anybody else out there just watching, maybe has questions about the coins, questions about the process, questions about what I do and how I do it? Be sure you ask. You certainly can't get answers to your questions if you don't ask them. And I've got nothing better to do right now
than answer all of your questions and help you out
with whatever questions you might have regarding these or other related coins. Now remember, I am a Lincoln Cent guy, so asking me questions about Indian head pennies isn't really going to do a whole lot of good, because all it's going to show is that I don't study Indians. I study my Lincolns. I know my Lincolns really well.
The normal one for Yeoman, now coin number 35. Coin number 35 for Crispy.
Crispy gets... Yeah, it looks like I have another normal one here.
This is that opportunity where you have someone sitting here with your full attention who has been around the block a couple of times with coins, and
I've got stories, I've got knowledge, I've got all sorts of things that I'll gladly share, but I'm not very good at just coming up with the stories. I'd rather share the stories when asked.
Kind of like an interview. I'm better at interviews than I am just coming up with a speech. Hello, Jesse.
All right, here's one for Steven. That last one was an RPM. And this one,
not so much.
Now, Yeoman again. Yeoman for his third coin. And it looks like we're going to have a doubled eyelid. Looks like. No, we're not. Darn it. This is that normal one that I keep thinking is the eyelid.
Turns out not to be. Crispy.
Crispy gets... And it's another one of the same die, unfortunately.
Normal.
Farm Dog now, coin number 40. Farm Dog, coin number 40. It's an RPM. It's at least an RPM. It's also a doubled eyelid. Right there. Nice coin, too.
Nice coin.
Ted Evans. Nice RPM there, plus a doubled eyelid. RPM plus a doubled eyelid.
We're working on about 50%. I think we're going to come up with close to 50%. Half of the roll.
Listable die varieties. This is for Sureg. Nice RPM. One of the nice RPMs here. I appreciate it, Farm Dog. Thank you. I'm not sure that I remember seeing it, so I'll have to go back and look after the show is done. Deanne. Nice RPM. And doubled eyelid. Boy, we're not even trying for a name there. Hidizpnmawigd. Thomas. Thomas gets. It's got the period and the line, so it's nothing. At least we definitely have a decent original roll of 1956 D Lincolns here. Looks like we're going to do a 44 D roll today, too. Another doubled eyelid with an RPM. That was for Penny Hoarder. Now number 46, Kelly. Kelly gets an RPM without a doubled eyelid. Number 47, P. Adams. Oof, this one's ugly. Oh my gosh, that one's ugly. It's got a minor double split serif plus a doubled eyelid. But Mr. Adams, you're going to get credit on this coin. That one's nasty. It is an RPM though, but you're going to get credit on that coin. 48, Eric. It's weird how one coin can be so messed up and then the very next coin is fine. Eric gets a doubled eyelid split serif RPM. That's 45, 47, 48. How about 49? 49 for Deanne. Next to the last coin in the roll. Turns out this one's got spots too. Deanne, you're going to get yours back. This is a normal 1956D though. Deanne's going to get hers back. Who else was that one? Kelly. No. Who was it? Oh, it was P. Adams. I got to write all this stuff down. So on, you guys are going to see a refund come through. P. Adams and Deanne and Carl. I'm just going to do a partial refund on your invoice. It just makes it easier that way. That way I can remember to do it and get it done. So our last coin in the roll is for Eric, and it is another DDO RPM combo. Plus it has end roll toning on the reverse. So you know this was the other end of the roll. And we have a sweet little collection going on here. This is nuts, boys and girls. How nuts this is. These are the die varieties right here. Okay. So here's number 48, 50, 47, 45, 43, 42, 41, 40, 36, number 1, number 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 15, 20, 17, 14, 12, 16, 5, 7, and 10. Holy moly. I'm going to flip through these real quick and let you read them. We'll see your name. If your name comes up. What a makeup roll that is. Right? What a makeup roll.
Nice. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Officially one more than half the roll. 26 die varieties in there. Then your normal coins. Less than half the roll, folks, are normal coins. So there we go. That one's done. In and out. And I have another reveal coming up at 2:30. And I definitely would love to see you guys show up. And I invite you to do so, including all those people out there who are not saying anything, who are watching. I appreciate it, folks. I'll see you in, it's about 30 minutes.